This is the rifle that was dropped off a building, dragged behind a Jeep, hit with propane tanks. The propane tanks were then hit with the rifle like baseball, and we're at about 300 yards or so, and we're going to be trying to shoot it, see if she's still accurate. Yeah, it still held 0 despite being beaten quite heavily. So what we're doing here is just shooting at an infinity target at about maybe 100 yards. Now the elevation is a little weird, so obviously the placement will be a little off, but all we're doing is checking for groupings on this beat up gun to see if we threw it off at all. So let's give it a shot.
This is a Noveske 12.5. Noveske is one of the best barrel makers, as everybody says. So we're going to compare our gun versus their barrel at least and see how that goes.
So the groupings test from up on the hill, not too bad. Just to preface, this was with non-match ammo and a non-match barrel. So it was PMC 55 grain, a little bit of elevation. So obviously the hold's gonna be a little off, but pretty decent group. Obviously I had 2 flyers, that's my fault, I did that. But not a bad group considering what this rifle's been through and the ammo selection. Obviously if we used match grade ammo, I think it would be a little bit better. But and then this was the Noveske, you know, again, non-match grade ammo. Now obviously the barrel is a little more of a prestigious barrel, but it all depends on conditions, the shooter, the ammo, how hot you get the barrel, everything like that. But again, this group off the Gibbz just shows that it held up to the abuse. Obviously it doesn't look pretty. If you rattle canned it, I think it would work just fine and you get right back to work. And if it gets dirty again, rattle can it again. I'm gonna do a little target transition drill. We've got a gong at about 100, and then the steel that we've been hitting all day with this at about 300. So I'm just gonna do 1 on each. This thing has been thrown off a roof, dragged behind a car, beaten severely. And you can see, I mean, there's chunks out of the plastic, there's chunks out of the metal. The rail is bent down here, and I mean, it takes quite a bit to do that, but the barrel is still able to hit. Obviously we could try to push this even further, but for today's purposes, 300 yards is sufficient to show that this can still hit.